Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So Microsoft is finally rolling out our November and starting to roll out our November Windows 10 and Windows 11 optional bug fix C release updates, which for Windows 10, they made available late yesterday in my region on the 30th of November. And the optional updates are just that, they are optional. So if you do decide to install the update, if we just head over to WinVer, about Windows, after the update has been installed, Windows 10 version 22H2's OS build has been bumped up to 19045.3758. So that's the latest version and build for Windows 10. Now, there are actually 6 new features that have rolled out with this update. So Microsoft hasn't finished yet, as I have been posting with Windows 10. They are now starting to focus a little bit more on the OS. And there are 5 official new features and 1 unofficial new feature that hasn't been listed in the release notes. Now, first of all, if we just head over to our Windows update, you'll notice that they now have the toggle to get the latest updates as soon as they are available. Very similar to Windows 11, this is turned off by default, so you'll have the option to turn it on. And Microsoft says regarding this, if you use home or pro consumer devices or non-managed business devices, you can get some of the newest experiences as soon as they are ready. And that's this toggle. Be among the first to get the latest non-security updates, fixes, and improvements as they roll out. So this is basically the same as what we get in Windows 11 and is now available over on Windows 10. So this is basically the first of 4 new features we will look at today that Microsoft is bringing over from Windows 11 into Windows 10. So that's interesting. Now, as always, optional updates will appear on this Windows Update page. So as mentioned, you don't have to install the update now, because if you don't, most of these improvements and fixes will be carried over into the Patch Tuesday update for December of this month. And here we can see the update KB5032278. Now that's the first new feature, the toggle. And then the next one, which I must just say at the outset, is the Windows 10 Copilot for the desktop. So this is another Windows 11 feature that's coming over. But just take note that this is available to a small audience initially, and Microsoft says will deploy more broadly in the months that follow. Now, unfortunately, I haven't received it with this update, so obviously this is very region specific, and as Microsoft says, is rolling out to a small audience initially. But nonetheless, just to do a quick recap, if you do get it, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the Copilot button to the right-hand side of your system tray in the bottom right-hand corner of your taskbar, and the update adds this Copilot in Windows, which is still in preview, and that button is added to the right side of the taskbar as mentioned. And this only applies to devices that run home or pro editions, non-managed business devices. And when you select it, Copilot in Windows appears on the right side of your screen, and it will not overlap with desktop content or block open app windows. So basically, this is the second Windows 11 feature that Microsoft is now bringing over to Windows 10 with this update. It's about, as mentioned, still rolling out, very controlled and phased. So most of you, including myself, won't see it as yet. And this is bringing centralized AI assistance to the Windows 10 desktop, very similar to what we get over on Windows 11. And then the next new feature is the news and interest feature is now larger. Now, I must be honest, I'm not really seeing a larger news and interest feed after this update. I'm seeing a more compact, kind of tighter looking news and interest feed. But nonetheless, Microsoft says this will help you use the feature more effectively and show the content you care about most on a larger scale. So this is very similar to what we see now over on Windows 11, where they are making that news and interest feed a little bit larger. Now, the next new feature is unofficial, and Microsoft didn't mention this in the release notes. But if we head over to our system page, here you will see a new system components, which wasn't there prior to this update. And this is exactly the same as what's going on now with Windows 11, where the system components are now listed on their own page, like Game Bar, Microsoft Store, and Phone Link. And if we just head back to our apps list, you will also see here now that those same system components have actually been removed from the main app list. So apps that are not system components will only be listed now in apps and features, but you'll see here to the top right, system components, and there we go. So that's the 4th Windows 11 feature now that Microsoft has now introduced into Windows 10 version 22H2 with this update. Now, 2 more new features which are really taking place under the hood, and I'm just going to mention them because they are listed as new features. This update adds new functionality that affects app defaults, and the update adds Windows Update opt-in notifications to the screen when you sign in. Now, if you would be interested and you do want to stick around, because this is a non-security update that does include other quality improvements and bug fixes, just to go through a couple that you may be interested in. The update affects the Netherlands time zone. It adds the recent man-made landmass outside of Rotterdam to the shape files. And there's also a little bit going on with Internet Explorer mode, where there are 3 fixes for Internet Explorer mode. One is listed as a key highlight, where Microsoft says the update addresses an issue that affects Internet Explorer mode to stop responding. This occurs when you have multiple Internet Explorer mode tabs open, and the update addresses an issue that affects the cursor. Apparently, its movement lags in some screen capture scenarios. And the update also addresses an issue that affects the touch keyboard. Apparently, the touch keyboard might not appear during the out-of-box experience OOBE, which is the initial setup experience when you are setting up a new device. And then just to mention one or two others, actually one, just to mention one, there's a game performance fix that fixes some video stuttering, which is always a good thing, especially if you are gaming. And then over and above that, it also updates the Windows 10 servicing stack, which is the component that installs Windows Update. So as mentioned, quite a lot going on with this update. And officially, we have 6 new features rolling out, and 4 of those are Windows 11 features that are now moving over to Windows 10. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.